Hi, my name is David Lenoir. I'm interviewing today Spencer Hayes from Palmer House Properties in Atlanta. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dave?
Great. Thanks for joining me today. I just wanted to talk a little bit about you, the Atlanta area, the real estate market down there, and get to know a little bit about you and your business.
All right. Well, I've been in the real estate business for 18 years, and Metro Atlanta is a huge area to cover. So I predominantly reduce my area to the in-town Atlanta area. Mostly, we can go by counties. I work two counties, and that's Fulton County, that's north and south. Fulton and Cobb County is where I live in the county that I live in. I've lived in both counties. I grew up in South Fulton County, so I have a lot of referrals from that area because I'm familiar with it. And there's enough real estate for everybody here in the metro Atlanta area. It's very competitive, very fast moving city, and it depends on what the client will want based on price and location and basically job commute, because that's going to make a big difference in
Great.
how they choose a home.
Good. So I'm curious, should a buyer decide or find themselves that they're moving to Atlanta or already in Atlanta and moving within city, what is the pricing like and what is the overall climate like for a buyer?
Well, basically, it's going to depend on what type of property the buyer is going to be looking for, whether that's a townhome or single family home or condo. Typically in the city, you're going to pay our premium for being in the city. The closer you are, the more expensive the properties are, and they're typically a lot less square footage. Typically, based on the buyer's need, it could range from the low 200s up to the millions, and just depending on what type of neighborhood or pocket, we call them little pockets, that you want to be in. And it is affordable, but typically most people choose to be in the suburbs of Atlanta within a commute distance of less than 30 minutes to get more house or more land and a better comfortable price. So the average price right now in the metro area is about 270,000 for a single family home. However, that's an average. You can find homes under the $200,000 mark, but you're going to be further out in the suburbs, or it's going to be something that's probably going to be a little bit outdated. But if you're looking for move-in ready, and if you don't mind doing a little bit of work, there's opportunities for a lot of people to own a home at an affordable, comfortable price that they feel like they can afford. You also have to consider the taxes,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
county, city. If you're going to be
Mhm.
living in the city of Atlanta, you're going to be dealing with Fulton County taxes as well as the city of Atlanta taxes as well. So that's going to be an added cost that people have to, evaluate before they make a decision on if they want to be in the city of Atlanta.
Okay, so living in the city has some expenses, higher real estate, higher taxes.
Correct.
Um, but there must be, do you think people buy there in the city? What is it for lifestyle benefits,
It
cultural amenities, that kind of thing?
Yes, it is for the lifestyle benefits of.
Mm.
We have a saying: Atlanta is surrounded around an outer perimeter, which is 285.
Mm.
It circles the city, and we have we have buyers and homeowners that consider themselves OTP. They do not go outside the perimeter. Uh,
OTP?
yes.
Outer perimeter?
Yeah, if you're outside the perimeter, um, those are some local terms here that the premium actually drives the pricing and amenities, because you have
Mhm.
all your sports arenas, you have your public transportation, you have walking distance, you have your parks, you have, and you also have local businesses that are incorporated within within communities, and people want to pay that price to have walking distance to amenities that they feel like they need in their life. So I've lived both in the city. I've lived in Buckhead.
Okay.
It is great, you know, because of the shopping and supermarkets and
Yeah.
community access to having things right at your doorstep.
So say someone approaches you and said, hi Spencer, I was referred to you. You come highly recommended. What we need is a 3-bedroom house with 1.5 baths. What is some of the pricing in the Atlanta for something like that?
For typically, I can right off the bat, I'm thinking pricing for something like that, you're going to be looking between 200 to 250.
Okay.
Um, and again, it will depend on the location,
Yeah.
but, you know, but it is very, uh, it's going to be a challenge because there's most likely it's going to be uh, low inventory
Mm.
for those particular properties, and they're very competitive, and you have to move very fast. And because of the market and the situation that we're having due to some challenges with
Mm.
COVID-19, and also people feel like if they put their property on the market, they have to find somewhere else to move, and they may not have that opportunity to do it, and maybe put out and have to have temporary housing to find something that they, you know, would like for their family. So there's all kind of opportunities, but you have to be ready to look at both different areas that may fit for that price point,
Mhm.
and I may suggest those, but it will be the buyer's interest on based on if they want to be part of a community, or if they want to be a part of a school district
Yeah.
that, you know, that's most important for them in their family, and also job commute if they're going to commute on a daily basis, because traffic can be very, very challenging. You can spend more time in traffic commuting um, and on a daily basis to also think about how much money you're spending um, on a home, and you're not spending time in it.
Yeah,
so,
you have a good point there. So basically, like you would recommend buyers just come down with a list of priorities, what
yes,
they need, what they value in terms of what kind of community they'd like to be in, urban, suburban,
yes,
and keep their daily commute. Because I'm kind of big on that in Boston. Under normal conditions, with the COVID,
yes,
commuting can be a bit of a challenge too, because even though we're not geographically dispersed, we're a very dense
yes,
population area. So people say, well, how many miles is it from point A to point B? I said, you really need to calculate by time
exactly.
and what you want to do. And some folks from different parts of the countries may not get that at first, and then they come to understand the situation
Yeah,
here.
your 30-minute commute could turn into 2 hours,
It,
you know,
yeah.
because it's 30 miles. You know, it could be that type of, you know, situation. So people have to understand the geographics of how the Atlanta operates, the metro area, and public transportation. And people drive here, and we have a sense of like it's a little mini LA. You know, it's kind of spread out city, but yet, you know, you will have to commute, and that will be a big part of a daily uh, part of your life, actually.
Yeah.
So,
So you want to plan on that,
I'm going to plan
definitely.
on that.
So so it does have a public transportation system in Atlanta. Is it kind of like a hub system where all the lines go into the city but not around?
Yes, it does, and it's MARTA, and it's predominantly in the Fulton County um,
Okay.
areas, north and south, and it crosses over into the DeKalb County. And
Mm.
then the Cobb County, being on the west side of the city, you have their own public transportation that connects.
Oh,
um,
okay.
yeah, so what we're trying to do, and we've been lobbying for a number of years, is to combine the two systems together and make a better um, public transportation system that will work for everybody rather than counties. And I think we got caught up in the early 80s and 90s and with separation, and now we're trying to bring things together. So basically, if you are interested in public transportation, and that's going to be a big key for you, most likely you're going to be in those closer into the city on those public lines to get where you need to be on transit, subway, or bus system. So
Okay, so that's helpful to know then. Now, in terms of industry, um, what are some of the big industry for of the area in Atlanta?
so we have, as far as huge industries, we have Delta Airlines,
Yeah.
which is the hub, or I would say headquarters,
Okay.
for the Atlanta airport. We have one of the busiest airports in the world. I think we're still holding that title. I don't know what's going to happen after COVID. Uh,
It'll come back.
but yeah, we will. And Coca-Cola headquarters is here. We have UPS. We have Federal Express. I think Georgia has the most per capita or small businesses.
Is there a specific industry that they tend to operate in, or is it pretty much all over the map in terms of startups?
It's all over the map in general. You have a lot of small real estate companies,
Yeah.
or start with that. But you have a lot of management companies because there's so many, opportunities to manage properties here. You have investors that come in. I work with investors as well
Mhm.
that are looking to purchase property, but they also look for someone to manage those properties. Because of the opportunity of these jobs, people will like to sometimes come here and experience and get to know the area better before they decide to purchase a home. And
Okay, so that's actually a smart buyer. Then what they do is they come in, they test out different areas to see what they'd like, and they don't feel so worried about making a mistake, especially if they're dealing with the emotions of a move to another city that they may not know
true,
much about.
very true.
So in those cases, if you get someone who comes in to rent, you help them, and then you just kind of keep in touch with them, and
Yes, we put them. I put them personally in my database, and we
yeah,
keep a touch with them, and hopefully, when they're ready to purchase, they'll remember, who's been uh, staying in touch with them. But it doesn't always work. But it's opportunity to welcome them to the city. I am openly gay, and I advertise and market myself as a openly gay real estate agent, and majority of my clients are referral based on the connections that I have in the um, I don't want to say neighborhood because that's so outdated.
I understand.
But because
Community connections,
yeah,
as they say.
community connection, there we go.
Yeah.
But I thought I would just throw that in there because I was reading something about that, and it was like we don't use that term anymore
Yeah.
because basically what I'm finding is families are moving in and they want to move in the suburbs, and they just not want to have to feel like they are dedicated to just a community that's been labeled. And so I have that experience where I've lived in different parts of the city, and growing up here, I can relate to someone's fear of going to some strange, state and feel in city, and then come to find out, are we going to be accepted? Or do we feel comfortable enough? How are people reacting? But however, it is a great place to raise a family. My partner and I, we've been together for 23 years. So we've lived in 6 different homes,
Mhm.
and we've lived amongst different types of neighborhoods, suburb, city, and we've been comfortable in making friends and neighbors. And we are actively in dealing with schools projects and things like that. So people are very surprised at how welcoming the city is of same-sex couples. And
That's good to know. Atlanta is as a welcoming city then. I
yes, we're
for
a friendly southern city. So
yeah. There you
you
go.
know
That'd be a hashtag for your social media, the friendly southern city.
we are. Now, it may not work for everybody. There's always something out there that, people I can't speak for everybody, but I can only speak for myself and what
Mm,
I've experienced in the communities that I live in and that I've lived in for the last 5 years. Is Marietta, which is in Cobb, and it's East Cobb, which is
mm.
a well-established area, but also it was quite conservative
Oh, okay.
at one point. And we decided to move in these areas, and we are thriving, and the community has changed, and more open-minded,
Mm,
and well, becoming more accepting
mm.
of.
What I found out is that being so open and transparent are values that are important in real estate because given what we do, we have to have transactions and listings and all that that are very clear, open, and transparent. So it's good to see someone who practices that
Yes.
in their daily life. And some people they like it. They like talking to people who are diverse and because that way they know they'll be fully accepted for who they are, not have to worry about being given a bad deal with something or not treated with respect. So it's very important to put that out there. So I appreciate it.
So that's my whole job, is to help people transition and feel comfortable by spending probably the most expensive purchase in their life in making that decision, whether they want to buy or sell.
Mm,
And also I lose business because I'm openly gay. So, and that's just the nature of life. And when people learn that, and you accept that, I can move on from that. So that doesn't bother me at all.
there's always a community of people out there who just want a good agent. Well, this has been very informative. Thank you for sharing yourself and your background. So if someone were going to be moving to Atlanta area or just wanted some more information, what would be a good way for them to reach out to you?
Well, I have my web site. I have spencerhayes.net,
Okay.
um, or you can contact me at 404-414-7893. That's my mobile.
Mhm.
Or you can reach me at email at spencer@spencerhayes, and that's HAYES.net. That's how you can find me. Very easy.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time and have a good day.
Thank you.